to Linguistic Lips. Thank you for coming back and sticking with us. This is episode 2. We want to talk about titles in dating. When we were in the cabins, we did talk about dating already, so we're going to expound on that topic today and go into a little bit deeper on actually how our relationships are formed. So I'm your host, Indian Girl, and we have
Raquel,
Santina, play with it.
And from the West Coast,
Kita, Red Star.
Red Star. Each week we would like to get guest co-hosts in. If you want to come in, any guys that want to come in and give their opinion about any topics that we're talking about, just reach out to us on YouTube or on Your Dream Studios on Instagram for that. So basically, when we're in the dating season, again, check out those that 4-part episode of dating that we did in the cabins. We're going to release that every Wednesday, so you can catch up. So basically in dating, we sometimes do more than just date. We already define dating as actually being able to see multiple people to figure out where you guys stand. I don't know the other word for it is courting, if you want to go old school with it, where we date for our purpose and we can have multiple suitors to see who suits our needs and move forward from there. So I'm gonna throw it over to you, Red Star, as far as dating. What are your thoughts on dating and getting past dating?
Getting past dating. Let me start. Now look up there. Yes, I would have to agree with you that. Let me think.
Well, basically, one, the controversy is like if women are dating multiple men, that means they're sleeping with multiple men. We touched on that, where it does not mean that you're out sleeping around just because you choose to see multiple people. We shouldn't have to be tied to one person if we're not in a committed relationship, because you want to keep your options open. And I feel as women, what we do is we do lock ourselves into one person, and then we already build a relationship around this one person no matter what, and then we call ourselves in a relationship we're really not in.
Yes. So that's what I think. I think we should do kind of whatever we feel at the time, right? Because there may be some times where you're in a dry spell. There may be times when you're feeling a little open and you want to roll with that. So just wherever you are, I feel like we should honor that, and then also make sure that we're having the conversations to ensure that we're on the same page with whoever we're with, so as not to have any confusion. So that's how I feel about it, just being where I'm at with it.
I'm thinking more on the line, if we're dating, we're dating. Well, what I'm doing is my business, and what you're doing is your business. At that point in time, if I'm dating you, I don't feel obligated to let you know a lot. I'm gonna let you know some things depending on how well the dates are going. But if I'm just dating you, I don't feel like I'm obligated to tell you or to do pretty much anything, but to see where it goes from the dates.
So I have not dated in years. Long time. So I don't know much about dating. I do know, well, dating in this
Time,
this space is different. However, feeding off of what you said, Tina, you said that you're not giving all your information. You're not telling them everything about you. However, when they ask you a question, do you tell the truth? Do you tell them, if they're asking you where you're going, do you say, I'm going out? And if they ask, with whom? Are you going to give the details?
I say a friend or on a date.
Okay, so a friend. And so they may assume, oh, you're going out with Charity?
No, I'm going out with Tim or Peter.
So I'm not giving names. I'm not giving names.
Are we giving? Would you give a name to make them jealous so they can step up to the plate? Are you giving name? Or are you telling them the truth so you can know, like, hey, bro, you're not the only person who's trying to come after me. Is that what
for
we're
that
doing?
reason?
Well, I don't think I don't do it for that reason. I feel like it's just too many games that people are playing. So in dating, for me, if I'm dating a couple of people, that means I've only gone out on one date with you, so I don't have to tell you anything, you know. And then if I've done a bunch of one-time dates, which like I said before, back in 2010, that's when I started online dating, and I would do lunch dates because I didn't want to commit to, oh, it's nighttime so we can go all night. So lunch dates give you that set little hour. I got to get back to work. I got to get back to this, to get to know somebody and figure them out. So I was doing a lot of those, and you kind of weeding people out or whatever. So it's like, it's not necessary because you only met this person one time. Now, if you're seeing someone a couple of times a week, a few times, and you know that he hasn't offered a commitment to you, I'm still going to date, and I'm still going to let them know. I just want you to know that, you know, I am seeing other people, just to let you know, not to give an ultimatum, not to give a discretionary, like, you know, you need to step it up. You're going to be who you're going to be. I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I'm just going to let you know. But I noticed that most men will not be honest about dating other women, and that's the frustration I have about that.
Why do you think men don't want to tell us? Like, I think sometimes guys think that we are just these emotional little human beings that can't handle it, and we're just gonna roll over and die if you tell me I'm going out with Sarah. Okay, tell her I say, hey, what you wearing? And then all of a sudden they're like, what? It's like, I'm just trying to figure out why they can't tell us the truth.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you want us to be honest, but you don't want to be honest. So you want me to say, hey,
I think it lessens their
with...
chances of getting the sex if they think they're being honest with you. And I tell people all the time, don't make the decision for me. If you're seeing somebody else, you know, let me decide if I want to, you know, still date you, or if I want to still pursue you or not, or even sleep with you or not. Let me make that decision for myself. Don't make it for me. So I rather, because we're doing this speed dating lifestyle right now, that I rather you just be upfront and honest, so I can cut the cord quick, and move on to the next person. But you're being selfish when you decide that you're not going to allow me to know who I'm spending my time with, and if this person is spending their time with somebody else. And I don't think that's fair. Like, we're not in high school anymore. We're not in our 20s anymore. We gotta, you know, stop wasting people's time.
I just think that men, they just want what they want. They want to have it all. They want it all for themselves. They want, okay, she, you know what I'm saying, she real cute, I'm gonna keep her on the side, but that girl can cook. Oh, she keep a clean house, or this. So you're seeing, this, and this, and they all have.
They got their lineup. They
got their starting lineup, and I think I'm like, okay, so you can do it, I can't. So when we flip it, we hoes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that. But why can't I? Dating is just that. If you're taking that term and just saying dating, hanging out, we're chilling. I meet you for lunch. I drive my car, you drive your car. We meet up, we have fun. We see, peace, see you later.
Again, dating doesn't mean you sleep with everyone you date with.
Exactly. But I think that sometimes men think that, oh, okay, you say you're dating. I didn't say I was in a relationship. I said I'm dating. Yeah. So I look at certain people. I have a friend and she says I don't do dinner. I do breakfast, brunch, and lunch.
Coffee.
She said that's it. She said after 5 o'clock, no, you cannot see me. I'm not gonna see you because there's no commitment here. We're just chilling out. We're just getting to know each other. Let's know each other in the light. Let's know each other, you know, when other people are around in public. So, like I said, I haven't dated, and I dated in high school. I'm 39 years old. So I don't know what it looks like, but I do see so many people, what they're going through or how they're telling these tales, and they're like, you know, well, there's no commitment. He comes and sees me. We're chilling out. We're having fun. But the minute Bob called, you in your feelings. But you just want to chill out. So what are we doing?
Yeah. What about you, Red Star?
With what?
What do you have to say about that?
About, I got lost.
About anything about the dating, about anything.
Huh?
Just what do you have to say about dating in general?
I'm just not doing a lot of it right now. So I'm like, whatever. Yeah.
Are you afraid to date? Because, with me, I don't want to say I'm afraid. It just seems like it's just too much work to trying to figure out who's real. So, I keep saying I'm busy. That's why I don't date. But, in actuality, you make time for what you want to. And it's a reason why I'm not. So it's more of a fear of getting caught up with the wrong person. So you think you're in where you're afraid of dating right now, or you're open to dating, or, you don't even think about it?
A little bit of all of that, actually. I'm open to it, but you know what happened is I realized, like, whenever I would come in contact with a man, I would automatically be like, like sizing him up to see, what it could be, if it could be anything. And that shit really got on my nerves. It really did. It started to get on my nerves where I felt like I couldn't even enjoy this human being because I'm always thinking about, like, what it's going to be or whatever. So that just in line with just going with the flow. I mean, if I see somebody right now, we on lockdown anyway. I'm not meeting a lot of people, but then I'm open to it, but I'm not like actively seeking or anything like that.
How about
I guess for me that would be like online dating, because that's the extent of it right now.
Yeah. How about this? So as Black women, because I had this conversation because somebody asked me, and I'm always honest. Anyway, about dating outside of your race. So with me, I grew up in Lilburn, Georgia. If y'all don't know where that is, Lilburn. Went to elementary school, and me and my brother and sister were the only Black people in the school. So all we saw were white people. So whether I was attracted to them or not, those are your only options. When you hear Ginger and Tom, the popular little fourth graders, are dating and their parents know each other in fourth grade, you're like, oh, we're supposed to be in relationships. So, I never had a boyfriend in elementary school because, I was a Black girl. And middle school was kind of the same thing. But, I've never said that I wouldn't date outside of my race. And in saying that, I might have gone on dates with said other races, but I've never been in a relationship with someone outside of my race. And most of the time it's because no matter how you slice it, you want someone who can relate to you and relate to who you are and relate to if you have struggles in your culture. And I'm not knocking anybody who do date outside their race. It's just I try to be open, and I become really shut down after the first date. Like, yeah, you don't get it. And then I always have this theory, every time a white man wants to date me, he wants me to be his little slave girl. So that's what comes to my mind. I'm like, I don't know if his intentions are pure or not. I don't know if I want to continue having these conversations with this person. But, does anyone have any issues with dating outside of their race?
It's something I've never done.
What?
It's something I've never done.
I haven't.
Really? I'm astounded.
I mean, I've been approached several times, like all the time.
Yeah.
But it's just something I've never done. There's not a reason for it. I guess I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah,
They might not understand me, and the way I'm a little loud sometimes, and
I think they think that's cute though, you know, because I'm loud too. They're like, oh, this
Growing up
nerd.
in
Oh my
Gwinnett
God.
County, I think we were exposed to different cultures.
Yeah.
We were exposed to different beings.
Yeah, I think the three of us
Yeah.
grew up in Gwinnett County.
For me-
we was in
I
Texas.
grew up in Texas, so
Yeah.
I'm very diverse when
Yeah.
it comes
So,
to.
you know, being exposed to different cultures, different races, it's all been there. I have never, I've been approached several times, especially in high school. You know, they wanted, you know, black girl with a big booty. You know, I think it was more of a, you know, is it, you know, is it real or is it this?
Mine's a black girl with the tits.
You know, or because I was, you know, black girl with big
Boobs.
booty. You know, but for me, I feel as though sometimes I never wanted to conform. I never wanted to be like, do I have to act like Rachel when I'm around your mother? Well, when can I be Raquel? When can that hood chick come out? Because she can go there with you. I feel as though you have to just almost like, you bring home, you know what I'm saying? Here comes this, you know, it's one thing to be a black girl, but you are bringing home a brown girl, because I'm that brown paper bag girl. That's that, you know. And I think one of the problems I used to have is guys would say to me, black men and white boys would say this, you're pretty for your complexion. What the hell is that supposed to mean? That dark-skinned women can't be beautiful?
Mm-hmm.
There are beautiful chocolate women out here, darker than me. So you're saying that I meet, you know, this mold of what a dark-skinned girl was supposed to look like? Because for years I had long hair. That's all I had. So they were like, you have long hair and it's really soft and it's not this, and I'm looking like, excuse me? Like, are you really saying this to me? Like, oh, you can take me home because even though I'm dark, I'm a black girl, I have long hair. Oh, and the best one, you don't talk like a black girl. Well, what does a black girl
I can't
talk
stand
like?
that.
I hate that little
Or they say
comment.
you talk white. And like,
Oh, you talk white?
no,
And I'm
you
like,
talk proper. It's not. Yeah.
I didn't know speaking grammatically correct was a black or white thing. I just thought it was a correct way of speaking. But I'm like, you know, no, you're not taking me home. I'm sorry. I don't want to meet mom. I don't want to meet pa. I don't want to meet your great-grandma. I don't want to meet them because they're not going to understand me. Because at the end of the day, we're going to have conversations, those uncomfortable conversations. And I don't know. I may, you know, watch Selma one day and wake up and be like, ooh, you white. I can't.
I already know Red Star's answer, but we're going to ask it anyway. She want them blackity black.
Black of the berry, the sweetest.
Yeah. Now I have done it before, you know, but now kind of knowing what I know now and everything, I wouldn't be comfortable. It would just be too much question in my mind. But now that's just white. That's just speaking white, right? I'm working on it, but their voice is like just irritates my ears. So that just wouldn't happen. But like some other, you know, I'm down with other people of color though.
Good. Well, so, I like a multitude of colors too, and I would like to preface this. I don't only date light-skinned guys. I just want you guys to know.
Whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
We ain't gonna. I can't
Tell somebody else that.
What the problem is, I'm married to biracial men. Those were the only biracial men I ever dated. The only two I've ever dated. So
we just average it out though.
But you know, but this is the problem. That's why I say it don't matter what shade. But it's like, you know,
But
they come
past
from
10
me.
years.
Yeah,
It's been a trend. It's been a trend in cycle.
Come on, we're not gonna talk about that one guy because I don't want to mention his name. He was in between the husbands, and he was definitely not nowhere near like
you still won't let me pull up. We could have pulled up.
Yeah, so we
Wait, Raquel, don't she sound like that one white girl at the party talking about she got a black friend?
But I have my friend.
He wasn't the only one. I'm just saying that was the most recent. So, you know, I just like what I like as far as a certain level of attractiveness and a certain level way of carrying yourself is what I choose. And most of the time I don't even choose, they choose me.
Like, right.
They choose me.
Look for
But anyway, but anyway, going from that, like, so for one, I'm open to dating different nationalities with some discretions. But the point is, once we move from dating, when you get to the point where someone seems like they want to be exclusive, they don't really say it, but they start taking up more of your time. How do you, handle that? Because then, as women, we will cut other suitors off and be like, okay, he's giving me a little more time. Okay, I like the way he's treating me. Okay, and you don't say anything because I say something, but most women don't say anything because they're afraid to scare the man away. So it's like how I usually used to do before I was married in my 20s. When I would date people, I'm like, all right, hey, we've been hanging out for like 6 months now. I say either get on or get off. Like, we either can stop right here and go about our business, or we can move forward in a relationship. And it's like, and I'm like, it's not an ultimatum. Whatever you decide, that's what we can go with. But I'm letting you know, you're not going to keep monopolizing my time if you're not going to make a commitment. So I've never had a problem with, having those conversations. Now that I'm older, it's like, I'm not ready for a commitment. So I just, I've been kind of going with the flow. So do you say something? You just cut everybody off? Or
no, you have to say something.
He say something?
No, you have to say something. That communication has to start going from the beginning, though.
Those questions.
Yeah, just questions in general. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a relationship? First of all, that's the first thing you need to know. Some people are just dating. That's not in their sight, a relationship.
But if you change your mind, though?
That conversation needs to be had. That's why questions come up and you have conversations. So, well, I didn't think I was ready for a relationship, but I like the chemistry we have. Are we moving towards something? Are we still going to be seeing other people? Those questions have to be asked, and you have to be adults about it and talk about it. But you can't expect to be in a relationship with someone if you've never had a discussion with them. Yeah. You can't expect them to not be. No.
Sometimes women do that. They just assume.
Yeah, they do. They assume. But
he comes over all the time.
But what did he say?
And we have sex. But
have you had a conversation
have he
with
said,
him?
will you be my girlfriend? Circle yes, no, or maybe so. That's just it. Like, you just assume that y'all are in a relationship. You ask those uncomfortable questions, because instead of you not asking those questions in the beginning, your feelings are hurt. So let me go ahead and set myself up for what it is. Oh, we just date, we just chilling. Okay, we just friends with benefits. Okay, cool. All right. So when I don't want to give you this benefit anymore, and we're gonna terminate this contract, you ain't in your feelings because you said we were never committed. And I think sometimes as women, we don't set proper boundaries for ourselves. We don't set the expectations for what we want from this person. If you just want just a friend, I just want you as my friend. That's it. Don't be calling me. Don't ask me no questions. No, I'm not cooking for you. No, I'm not cleaning for you. No, I'm not washing your clothes. Stop doing girlfriend and wife duties to a friend. To
FWP.
I don't even know what you even call it, because it's not even
benefits.
And sometimes they don't even have benefits. The benefits, like the intimacy and y'all having sex, sometimes they can just have too much access to you. You don't need full access to me. No. If I can't have full access to you, you can't have full access to me.
That's my statement for 2021. Like, as much as you give me, that's what I'm going to give back.
I'm going to give you what you give me. But men can't handle that, though.
Yeah, until things change. But again, we do put ourselves in the girlfriend wife role because of what the person is doing. And I know that with me, it's more about you go off of what I do and what I say. With men, it's like you have to go off of what they say, not what they do. Because if they were raised right, they are going to do certain things for every woman. It's not just you. So you can't sit in this mindset, but he opens my car door, but he pumps my gas, but he comes over and plays spades with me and my friends, and he does this, that. He went on a trip with me, and he did this and that. And it's like, okay, but what did he say? Did he say he wanted a commitment? No, did he most of the time guys be like, yeah, you don't want to do me because I'm a bad guy, or yeah, this is just different things women said the guy said. I'm like, but he's doing this. I'm like, he's telling you straight up, he's never going to be with you. He said, you can't date somebody like me because I'm a bad guy. Oh, you know, I'm like this with everybody, my moms, my sisters, whatever. Yeah, I'm not a good look for you. No, I'm not ready right now. I think I'm falling for you and everything, but I'm just not ready for a commitment. You know, I got all this other stuff going on. We have to open our ears and listen, because they are telling us, and you have to close your eyes to what they're doing, and then open your ears to what they're actually telling you. They're telling you that they're not ready for this, and then we keeping this because we hope they change their mind. We hope that, because we done spent all this time with this person, and that's what we do. We get caught up in these relationships that are not relationships because we're afraid to move on, because we committed so much time and energy on this one person, and it can't be just again. So when we as women, when we're giving ourselves a title that wasn't given to us, and we act according to this title that's not given to us, this is where we find ourselves in a difficult situation of getting out or just sticking with what's going on. I know somebody was in a relationship, not married, for 25 years to somebody that never committed to them, and because she spent so much time, she was afraid nobody else would want her. She wasn't gonna be able to find anybody else, so she just put up with it. So.
No, they didn't live together. Nothing.
They lived together off and on, but it was like as soon as we get arguing, you know, I'm not married to you, so I can just go and do what they want to do, and then come back when they've done doing what they're doing. And
I'm good on that.
You go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh. No, I would have to agree with what Santina said. Like, I'm finding in looking at myself, and just to be honest, you have to know what you want, right? And make a decision on that and stick to it. And I think Raquel mentioned boundaries. And, you know, I don't think it's not that I don't think it's that we wouldn't enforce them. We don't have them. Right? We don't have them set. We don't have our hard and fast, like, okay, I can deal with this, I can't deal with this kind of thing, and just really coming to the table. Because we have the control, right? Mm-hmm. I was thinking about that. Like, how can I make it where I don't have any bad experiences? I'm in control of it.
Yeah, so with that, like, yeah. So with that, you know, just having to speak up about it, and for the other party to understand where we stand on things when we moving forward out of this dating. You know, I just be like, okay, you monopolizing a lot of my time. Where we going with this? You know, when we get to that point, like, you know, I think Raquel was about to say, is about when you get rid of titles, it's still, you have to be emotionally ready for that. You know, I more so, because I know what my situation is, even though I may be hurt by a situation, if I know that you're not my man, that you're possibly seeing other people, it's nothing really I can say about it if I keep in the situation. There's nothing I can say about it. It might hurt my feelings here and there. This might occur, but it's like, you know what situation you're in. And it's only up to you to walk away from the situation. You can't expect nothing from this person but what they've been giving you the whole time. So it's up to you to walk away from the situation and be okay with walking away, knowing that, okay, I do want more, this person doesn't want more, it's time for me to move on. So I'm not someone that can continue on. We could start with no titles, but I don't think I can go long term with no titles, when without that title you still have expectations of me as a girlfriend or wife, and you don't even have a title. So it's like I can't do the no titles.
My thing is my situation is, I see that the guy that I'm with, he's a great guy. He provides, he's a gentleman, he opens doors, he's gentle, he's kind, but he's a cheater. And it's something that I'm not going to deal with. And he thinks in his head that it's okay, because he, at maybe once or twice a week, he has someone over and just has sex with them, but because he's calling me and giving me his time and he wants to be with me and he cherishes me and he thinks I'm gorgeous and da this and da that. He thinks it's okay that he meets up with somebody and releases. He thinks that's okay, and he thinks that I'm supposed to put up with it. So
boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the boundaries that I'm not willing to deal with.
But is he sleeping with you as well?
We were sleeping together.
Okay, so you're not sleeping together.
Yeah, we're not sleeping together, and he doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand how the sex was just so good at first, and you know what I'm saying, you would do this and you would do that. And
because
now
I thought I was just giving it to you.
Yeah.
And now you don't do, and it's not just that. It's just that once someone has broken that trust, that bond, that relationship, that
even them telling you that, it's like, well, if it was all that, why you gotta be with somebody else?
Exactly.
If I'm making all your fantasies come true and I'm everything you want and you've never had this feeling before, why are you gonna still go out and seek it and see if somebody else can duplicate what? It's not about what I can do, it's what we're doing together. So
it's like self-control, selfishness.
Yeah.
What's
spoiled,
the word?
like
they have a right to it. It's a whole bunch of like, we think about sex just like they do.
Yeah.
But there's just the inability to fucking control yourself. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and again, I said this in my previous marriage. I was like, oh, I'm a woman. I think about sex just as much as you do. Just because I don't have to act on it every time I think about it. It's a fleeting thought throughout the day. Man, when last time I had some blah, blah, blah. You was tripping today. You might need some dick. Whatever. Let me get back to this work. Blah, 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 blah. Man, I got to put that on my calendar. Let me, oh man, that last time, it was so good. Let me tell you about it. But anyway, so we think about it just as much as men do. We just don't have to act on it. So don't say, oh, because we think about it. No. We think about it just as much. We just have self-control. And then on top of that, if I find something good, I'm not going to go out and try to find something. I'm going to stick to what's good. Like art is not that, oh my God, you're the best. No, us together made something good and great. So it ain't me saying I'm the best you ever had or you saying blah, blah, blah. We came together and created something good. So why am I going to go out and try to recreate some stupid chemistry with somebody else?
And it throws off the chemistry.
Yeah, because then, and then on top of that, I'm not saying women don't go out and sleep with multiple men. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying every man goes out and sleep with multiple women. But when I lay in my bed and I'm laying with you, there's no way you gonna get up and I'm gonna let another one. I will buy a new mattress. I'm not sharing that space with somebody else. Like this something I created with somebody else. Just me personally. It just leaves a crunchy feeling in my mind, in my heart, in my vagina.
I just feel like whatever you into, it's a whole plethora of people that's into that same stuff, right? Like if you want to sleep around and if you want to be open, it's a whole like, I follow this one lady. There's like a whole like underground network of kink, BDSM, poly life, all that.
But you forgot what you said. Men are selfish. They want to sleep with multiple people. They don't want the people they sleeping with to sleep with multiple people.
Yeah, so that's the thing. This one is this is like a true, but that's for anything. It's just about being honest, knowing who you are, what you want, decide on all of that. Because when somebody come in with something that ain't on your, on your list or your guidelines.
Yeah, I mean, even in that, we like you say, you got to have those hard no's, hard yeses.
But our heart to that point when we're done and we're over it. I want you. I want us to be together. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna do right. I want you. I want to get nah, bro. Nah, we good.
What are we changing?
Keep that same energy.
What's gonna change?
Keep that same energy. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that because I love you. I know what I want now. no, you want me because somebody else wants me. Do you want me, or do you want me because
not even that, because I can't have you anymore.
I'm not tangible anymore to you. I'm not at your beck and call now. All of a sudden, oh, you're a good person. You what I want. Am I?
I think I'm about to give up on the whole kit and caboodle. You know what I'm saying? It's no point in dating. There's no point to get to the relationship. There's no point to get to marriage. If you're going to fuck up in dating, you're going to fuck up in the relationship, and then you're going to fuck up in the marriage.
There are some people who they have the man that's committed to them, who's not cheating, who's, doing that, but then they're hollow on the inside. They're empty on the inside. They got mommy issues. They got so many other things. If we're not fixing the cheating, or he's cheating, okay, he ain't cheating. Okay, he don't cheat. He come home. He pay the bills, but
he drank too much.
The ego is dead in the inside.
Don't talk about that. Deal with. Don't talk about that.
It's what you're willing to deal with in the person.
So it's gotta be something.
Am I willing to deal with him cheating on me? No. Would I be willing to deal with someone that left the toilet seat up every once in a while? Yes, that's something I can deal with.
Am I going to deal with your gambling?
No, I'm not.
No. But I mean, yeah, it's the hard no's. I think we just need to establish hard no's in dating and relationships, and even before you get married to someone, because you can't have the expectations of marriage before marriage. So you're dating, you're in a relationship, then it's like, oh, we're gonna get married. Oh, okay, we need to sit down and have a talk. What's this gonna look like? What is your expectations in this marriage? Which you should see those characteristics in dating. That don't mean they have to do everything in the dating and relationship part, but you should see the characteristics of the person to know, is this someone I would marry and spend the rest of my life with? Okay.
I think we need to be open to, right? Like, as women, I feel like we're quelched so much, like with, you don't want to be considered a hoe or this or that, whatever it is, or we're too old for that, or she shouldn't wear that, because we're getting to that kind of age. So it's like,
shouldn't wear what?
But we look better than some of these young girls out here. I'm just saying, like,
what can't I wear?
No, but I'm just saying, like, just getting to a point to where, if I want to, I don't know, date outside my race, or if I choose to date younger guys right now, like whatever it is for whatever I need, to just be okay with that.
Yeah, because I need you to match my energy, and most likely you're going to be younger than me, so you got to match my energy.
Yeah, but some people don't do that, right? They have something that they seek, but they don't seek it out because of what it would look like. They allow the societal standards or norms like dictate how they date or how we date. So I just wanted to add, I just think it's important that we maintain that openness and that confidence that comes with the years of wisdom and experience.
Yeah, they got to realize that right? We do have years of wisdom and experience, and at this age, we ain't doing the dumb shit we did in our 20s. Like, real talk, like just to have this idea, because men, they date older and younger as well. So if they're dating someone in their 20s and they meet me and they date me, don't treat me like the 20-year-old, because I'm not her. I've already been through that in my life, and I already been down those roads. I already made my mistakes, so I'm at a different place in my life where you shouldn't even be putting me in the same category or baskets of all the people that you're dating. And that's nothing. You have to look at people as individuals. We can't lump everybody into this category of all men, all women, this type of woman, this type of man will always do this. So,
but it's also evolving as a woman, as yourself, because 21-year-old Raquel is different than 25-year-old Raquel, which is different than 30-year-old Raquel, which is different than almost 40-year-old Raquel,
and 35-year-old. And every point that you just made, I can think about the difference in each one of those stages in my life.
I can tell you different stages in me. So you knew the 21-year-old. You don't know 39-year-old.
Yeah.
So don't come at me. But you my mind wasn't there. My mental wasn't there. So as a woman, we evolve, and sometimes that man gets stuck where you were, and he can't evolve with the new person that you are, because I may not have had boundaries at 21, 25, 30, 35, but at 39, I know I'm seeing things a whole lot different, and I'm looking like I ain't got that, I ain't got that much more time left. Okay, so I only got a good another 20, 30 years. Am I going to deal with the same bull crap that I dealt with when I was 21 years old? No, I will not. Now, are you willing to evolve with me? If not, I see it.
That's those hard. I mean, again, I got that list in my room, and it makes it so hard for me to read that list. Cause I'm like, if you read this, you need to hold yourself accountable. If you read this list of man, you're gonna have to hold yourself accountable.
But as women, we have to hold ourselves accountable as well, because sometimes we just like, well, he did this to me, he did this to me. Oh, I'm this. Okay, God, then you have to sit back and say, self. Yourself has to say, well, what did you do? What did you contribute?
Do you know what I said to myself today? I came in the house. I was like, "What now, dummy?" I was so calm, because sometimes I get, I'm a crybaby. Everybody know I cry, like mad, sad, glad, happy, whatever. A tear is gonna fall. When I get to that point where like I should be crying about this, and I'm not crying, I'm like, you've become numb to this. So what now, dummy?
It's enough.
Like, what do you do from here? How do you approach dating now? How do you approach the balance of your life now? Does dating even fit into that? It should fit into it, because you do have to have something with somebody of the opposite sex, just like we got to have our girlfriends, we got to have our family. So
it's a balance.
Go ahead, Red Star.
No, I think that's it. I was thinking about it today for myself, and I think I just want to date in the traditional sense, right? Multiple people. Huh?
You want to be courted.
Yeah, but just to meet people and let things progress naturally. And then if I have, somebody that appeals to one particular side of me, right? Because we're all multifaceted. Mm-hmm. So I'll have somebody that, want to go hug trees with me and go hiking or something like that. And then, I got my thug nigga, we can go to the cave or something like that.
The club, the cave, right? The club, the cave.
The cave, yeah.
Not just no random caves with bats and shit. You talking about the club.
Yes. Anybody whoever know who I'm talking about, they know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the cave. So yeah, just stuff like that. I think that's kind of what I want to do right now. Instead of trying to find one person to be everything, I just don't want to do, So it'll, I hope, be all organic, Like I said, I'm not just going to be out popping out from behind cars what's up? Let's make out. Because
that was 20-year-old Red Star.
Yeah. Be like, hi. What you doing tonight?
I mean, when you evolve, and that goes back to when you marry young and you and that person grow. Sometimes you're either going to grow together or grow apart. Because now I'm really hell-bent on 30 years old is probably the age people just think about getting married.
Absolutely.
Because you got to have those 20s. You got to have those heartbreaks. You got to have those slip up, mess up moments. You might even have to have your little hoe days or whatever it is. Get whatever it is. That's men and women. I ain't saying... I ain't talking about hoe as in women. I'm talking about men and women. Get it all out your system. Because, get whatever it is you got to get out your system. Figure yourself out. Be safe about it. But figure yourself out and and I'm not saying go trip on acid and stupid shit like that. But, you have to get those 20s out. You got to get in those 20s and learn who you are. You got to learn who you are. And that's the only way you're going to find somebody that's going to match. Because if you don't know who you are, you're just going to be out here. If everybody's the problem. Every time I date somebody, I don't like that. That's because you don't know who you are.
At some point, you have to look at yourself in the mirror, though, and say, okay, what about me that needs to change? Mm-hmm. What did I do wrong? What did I contribute to the demise of this said relationship, friendship, or whatever the situationship is? Because at some point, I think sometimes as women, we think we always go, he did this, he did this, he did this, he did this. No, like you said, big dummy, he told you No, you like, no, you like, no, he told you he didn't want a girlfriend. He told you he didn't want a commitment. Or he told you he didn't want babies. But you thought if you just miraculously got pregnant, he was just going to change and be this, everything that
I was the one that said I didn't want babies, and look what happened.
I one and done.
It was like, I ain't doing it. I'm sorry, can't marry you, because that was my hard thing. It was like, I can't date you because you don't have any kids, and I don't want any more kids. Oh, it's fine. I'm okay with what you have. I'm like, are you sure now? Because I'm telling you, it's not happening. Not happening. Anyway.
I'm so handsome.
But it's just again, you set those standards and those boundaries, and I think I was more hardcore in my 20s though, because couldn't nobody come with me with nothing. I'd be like, cut, you're cut, you're cut, you're cut. You gotta go. I had very high standards.
Yes, and I look back and I'm like, wow, that was a really good guy.
I was talking to someone the other day because I was one of the. I had my daughter was 27, almost 28, and I remember if a guy would like look at me or try and talk to me or something like that, I'm like, you got kids? Yeah, no, I'm good. and sometimes this one guy was like, you don't know, you could be missing out on the best thing ever because you don't want to. I'm like, but dude, I don't have kids, so I'm not there to come in and step in, and then you may have baby mama drama. She may not be over you. I'm not about to be. I don't have time for that. Now I look at myself. Now you get older, you have one. Okay, yeah. If I was to ever go out and date again, how many is too many?
But see, now I'm at the stage. I don't really want to date anybody with small kids.
Don't blame me. Mine is very self-sufficient.
I don't.
My rule was they got to be older than my youngest, or the same age as my youngest. That was my rule. But I think even with that, it's like even with the kid thing. I was blessed in both of my marriages. I didn't have to deal with no baby mamas. I was very fortunate. Now
that's wrong. That's wrong.
Well, one didn't have kids, and the other one, she passed away. So so I didn't have I didn't have to deal with that, and I think God knew, because in my dating life I dealt with so many baby mamas, and I've had so many conversations. He was giving me a pass on that in both my marriages. So I didn't have to deal with that, but I still have to deal with the baby daddy.
Father of your kid.
But anyway, yeah, so it's at this age, it's like, because two of you guys are grandmothers, so it's like, are we going to be dating people with with kids the same age as your grandkids, or because men, they can have babies at any age.
I don't look that old, so what I'm saying. I might go out on a date or two. That's about it though.
Yeah, no, I'm finally my time is done. No. I won't be having any more kids, and I'm not going to date anybody that has little kids. I don't want to deal with that.
I'm not on a date. I'm just not going to commit to anybody with kids. I'll entertain you if you want to be entertained. We can go out and have dinner, or maybe go to a concert, or.
Oh yeah, we can mess around. Yeah.
Put it blank, plain and simple. Mess around.
Mess around. That's about it, though. Yeah.
We can mess around.
Oh yeah. So I basically, I think the takeaway from like moving from dating to relationship is, as women, we need to set boundaries, establish what we want up front. Let the other person know, and hopefully they're honest with us about what they're looking for. Even if they change, you communicate that with them, basically saying, hey, look, I'm looking for something more. I don't know if you're looking for that or not. And then you basically need to stop thinking that you know what we're thinking and what we're going to say and making decisions for us. Just tell us your truth as we're telling you our truth. And you see what happens. It's not necessary to, we all only have but a certain amount of time here on earth. Don't waste mine. Please, don't waste my time. So,
but also, we're asking, you should be prepared for what's coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, so
you're going to ask those questions. Be prepared for what's going to come out of his mouth. It may not be what you want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. So you make the necessary decisions in your life to say, am I going to stay around for this? Or, you know what, that's a hard no. Let's just in this where it is. Don't ask these men these questions, and then when they give you the answer, the truth, you all in your little feelings. You ask for it now, and don't go looking for it if you can't handle it either. If you're not ready to handle that he is sleeping with another woman, or he's dealing with other people, or he doesn't think that you are the one or want to give you that title, you went looking for it. So you went looking for it, handle it, put your big girl panties on. You're like, okay, will it hurt? Yes, but you better,
man up.
Don't go. I don't like it when I asked him and he told me and I want to go. But you asked. He told you the truth. And when you told the truth, you didn't like the truth. And so now what?
So I'll say this. The first, out of all the times and all the instances where I've come across some bullshit in a relationship, I have to honestly say that I wasn't surprised. Right? You be mad and shit and you be like, God damn it, but you be knowing already, you know who the fuck you dealing with, you know what they're capable of. Either you done seen it with their interaction with somebody else, or just something gave you that inkling that when it actually came to light in reference to you, that you ain't all that surprised. Nope. I can honestly say that. Let me not sit here in front and act like it just took me by surprise. I'm like, oh, who, him?
I like to live in blissful ignorance a lot of times, where it's like, I know what you're doing. If you ain't said nothing, I ain't see them. Act like it didn't happen. And then when I do see something, I'm going to say something. I'm going to call you out on your shit. But like, if we're just dating, we're not in a serious relationship, don't think I don't know. Don't try to play me like I'm not well aware what's going on. Again, I've been here for over 4 decades. So therefore, I've seen mostly everything you think about being seen. I've seen situations, been through situations. So it's not too much, like you said, nothing surprises you. It's just like, I choose not to spend my nights wondering where this person's going, what they're doing, who they're with. I'm too busy for that. You're gonna get caught anyway. I just wait for the shoe to drop. The other shoe to drop. I'm like, aha. There you have it. I don't care about all the other times. This one right here, this happened. It is what it is. But again, and in that, you can't. I'm not arguing with you about it because we ain't together. I'll just keep it moving. Keep it moving. But if we are in a relationship, it's going to be it's still keep it moving. I'm not arguing about that either.
I think it's like, I've been thinking a lot about lately, like myself, and then as an extension of myself, the people that I have around me, right? So, you think about your friends, and then you think about the guys that you're with, and it's like, if you come outside of the relationship, right, you have to look at it from the outside. Like, would you really fuck with that person? And if you can't look at somebody from the outside, not with the enamor and the glamour of, the feelings or the years or the time or whatever, would you actually, deal with that person? Do you like who they are?
Do you like who you are when you
if you're going to do your friends and with everybody else, even more so should we do that with the people that we actually, are sharing our bodies with, our time with, our lives with, and stuff like that. That's what I thought.
What's your takeaway, Santina, before we close out this?
I agree. I think you have to know who you are, know who you're dealing with, and accept that person with their flaws and all, in order to be in a happy, successful relationship with anybody.
So just to wrap it up on moving from dating to relationship status and all of that, setting boundaries and all that. Anybody have any last words on that? She done put on her cardigan.
It's chilly. Just setting clear expectations of what you want, asking those difficult questions, and accepting the truth. And moving productively once you have that truth that works for you. That's very important.
Set boundaries and stick to those boundaries and be true to yourself first, before anything else.
Red Star? Grandma Red Star?
I would say to be open. Right? Yeah, to remember to be open and, when making a decision about, what you want and stuff like that, just to make sure that that decision honors you and not something else, some other standard or something that we've been conditioned for. That's it, be open.
All right, ladies, thanks for a great conversation expounding on dating from the cabin. Since you guys wasn't there, you two weren't there, we want to make sure we include you in the conversation. I don't know when we're going to get a man in the hot seat. That's going to be the next question. But if you want to be in the hot seat, please let us know. On to politics, Red Star.
Yes. So I was thinking about what to cover for today. And Indian Girl and I had a conversation earlier this week about the cover of Vogue for Kamala Harris. And I guess I'll just kind of give my opinion and my thoughts on it. I thought she looked okay. She's not like the darkest skinned lady that there is. So everybody made it like they really lightened her up, which they probably did because we know that they do it. And then I think some of the other commentary that I saw was talking about just the lackluster, just how it was very plain and, they felt like they could have done a better job as far as like representing her. So I would have to agree with that part, I feel like. But then secondly, real quick, I'll tie it in because I was thinking about it when I was driving here today. Or not driving here, driving home to be here today. So do you ever notice that when white people say MLK or the holiday, they say MLK. I don't know any black person that says MLK. Everybody that I know says his name.
Martin Luther the King.
Martin Luther King, right?
Junior, don't forget the Junior.
Yeah, so I thought about it because the fact of that his name being shortened in that time, like we said, and we give it like the full respect. So I thought about that because that holiday is coming up here for us on Monday. And to tie that back in with the Kamala Harris Vogue issue and just how there's a lack of respect that's given. You see, when we have people of African descent, black people that have accomplishments and things like that. So even when we do it, there's always something that has to like knock it back down.
Diminish.
So I can kind of tie that into what they did with her with that Vogue art, with the cover. It should have been on and spot on. And so often we see instances where, they give you just a little bit, but not like what it fully should have been. So instead of saying Martin Luther King or giving Kamala her full due, they, lightened it a little bit. So that's it.
Yeah, I feel like, man, she should have had Afro puffs or something, you know what I'm saying, right in. But I was okay with the Converse look, because you know me, I'm a dress down type of person. Okay. So I was okay with that, to show her as a real person, and to also show, like you were saying earlier, we don't have to fit into this mold at what age we're supposed to dress like this and look like this and act like that. So I was okay with that, but I think that one cover she did look very European. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, I think also, I don't think she had a problem with the picture. I think that she had a problem with the fact that you told her something different and you didn't post what you agreed upon. She agreed upon a more, conservative hirsute look, and you chose to put something different on there. The picture isn't, the style, because that's her style, isn't the issue. It's the lack of respect. That you was like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Now, if that was Giselle Bundchen, would you have done that?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
If that was your Reese Witherspoon, would you have done that? Give this woman her respect. Once again, that lack of respect that we're getting as women. And I'm feeling some shift in the air, because a woman got into office, but it wasn't a white woman first. It was a black woman that got into office first. So I feel a shift with some, not all black women, white women, but I do feel like a little.
Yeah.
Like,
the fact that we are all women, one, so you should be happy that it's a woman. Doesn't matter what race. Yeah.
That a woman got into office. Yeah. We have finally shown that we're just not going to sit behind our husband and tell him what to do. We are making those decisions. We are making those moves. We're in the front line. So, you know, and I had to, you know, a coworker and I, she's a white woman, and she's like, she was crying. She was just like, a woman made it. She didn't say a black woman. She liked the fact that a black woman made it, but she was looking at, we're there. We are there. But some people are still looking at it as, what is the real problem? Is it the fact that Joe Biden won, a Democrat is in office, or is it the fact that a black woman is going into office with this white man?
I'm gonna say this, and y'all might give me a little flack on this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When you get to that standard, or when you get to that place in your life, you should be making your own decisions about what photo goes on a magazine cover. You don't let them choose for you. You choose for yourself.
Her team did choose.
Like I said, you choose for yourself in the way that you want to represent yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She agreed upon that, but they still did what they wanted to do.
She agreed upon that.
And I understand that. But like I said,
and then pull it.
There you go. Exactly.
I see what you're saying.
Make those decisions for yourself.
No, I don't need to be.
Yeah, if that's the way you're going to represent me, then that's not the way I choose to be represented. So therefore, you can give your cover to someone else.
Yeah. Play your card right.
Exactly. And that's the way I feel about it. Like when you get to that point, you can make those decisions. And if she wanted to be represented in a certain type of way, then she should have made sure that when she did the cover, those grounds were already covered. I choose my photo, the photo that I want to be represented. This is it, and if that's not going to happen, then I don't want to do the photo shoot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. She does, because I mean, you're vice president now.
But once again, lack of respect.
Like you're not a model trying to make it. You're not a starving actress trying to make it. And they gave you the Vogue. You're just gonna go for whatever. So you've already established that you have your place in history. And on top of that, so yep, I agree. Thanks for that great political topic. What do we have in entertainment?
Santina coming with your Play With It entertainment today. We're gonna be hosting Arizona's at Stonecrest. One of my first serving jobs. I opened up the restaurant, so I wanted to bring them on and give them a big shout out today and let you know about Arizona's at Stonecrest. Their address is 2940 Stonecrest Circle in Lithonia, Georgia. Their general manager now is Tamara, and she also started out there as a server. Arizona's is known for their steaks, chops, and seafood. It is a black-owned establishment. They do have jazz and live entertainment on Tuesday and Friday nights. If you're in the Lithonia area, you should check out Arizona's. And that is my Play With It entertainment report for today.
So me and Santina both opened Arizona's back in 2004, I believe it was.
Yes, it was.
I was at the bar. So Tamara, who is this Tamara? Because I thought the husband from Potomac, Housewives of Potomac, the pastor, was the...
He is the new owner of the establishment.
Oh, he's the general manager. Okay.
Yeah, but she is the general manager, and she started out there as a server. Actually trained her on the bar at Arizona's, and she worked her way up from a server all the way to general manager. And she's actually a great general manager. She has a lot of the same employees that have been there that opened up the restaurant. So it is a very nice black-owned establishment. Their food is awesome. So whenever you're in the Lithonia area, you guys should check them out.
Yes, I always love their food. I'm kind of a health nut, and when I started working there, I was like, so what is in this? And and the owner at the time was like, we put a lot of love in our food. That's all you need to know. And he was not lying.
What was that? Is it the steak soup?
The prime rib and soup. Yes.
Girl, that prime rib soup.
Yes.
Yes. But we had, you know, me and Red Star, we would hang out there on a little jazz night or whatever. We got some stories.
Y'all have some stories.
We got some stories. Like, I mean, that's when I heard at one point they were closing down. I was like, no way. And then it came back and it's gonna close again. It came back just like a little cockroach. They ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. I don't care what happens in Stonecrest. They're not going anywhere. So thanks for that, Tina. Y'all check out Arizona's. We'll put a link to their information on the down there. So our Black business of the week.
Our Black business of the week is Precious Me Incorporated. And so Precious Me Incorporated enriches the lives of young women through experimental learning by equipping them with the life skills necessary to cultivate the foundations of womanhood. Their vision is to give a legacy of women who uplift humanity through their innate gifts and talents. So the founder is Bianca Singleton. And their goals, basically, they mentor young girls into who they are and what they should be in life. And they just want to create that perpetuate this cycle of cultivating young, strong women. And I think that's very essential right now for women of color, all females, all young ladies, because we are always going to be a couple of steps behind, even though we're smarter and we know it all. We are the world with another story, another day. But yeah, so we'll have her information. She's nonprofit, and she is also recruiting mentees and mentors for her program. So we'll have their information listed as well.
Well, you know, I'm all for mentoring for young women and young women and young men. My son is in the program now, and I think it's very important. I was going to even start my own little mentoring thing, because a lot of things that we go to as women of color, it is a cycle of abuse and sexual abuse, and a lot of things that are not talked about and not discussed amongst our family. And these women grow up not knowing how to cope and deal with it. So these type of programs really do help with that. And you know, everyone needs love. Everyone needs attention. Everyone needs someone to guide them. Again, it takes a village. So thank you for that. And again, we'll have that information down at the bottom too. And last but not least, our song of the week. I'm not even gonna lie, I waited to the last minute to do this. I probably was kind of in my feelings earlier today, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me find a song. And I don't even know what I put in, but it's like the universe be knowing, man. The universe be knowing. So the song came up, and it's basically talking about just our conversation today about knowing your worth and knowing when to step back. So it's constantly this person is doing this person is doing that, this is going on, and then it comes back to keeping it real. But I think back to the good days. I think back to everything that I like about them, so you keep going back. So it's basically you're just going back and forth with someone you know is not any good for you, but you hold on to the good days. So the song of the week is by SZA, Good Days. It's a reminder that, you know, sometimes you think you're crazy and like, why am I doing this? And there's other people that doing the same stupid shit you doing. So, you know, eventually you get to a point where you get sick of it, and you keep those good days as just memories. You don't have to hold on to the person to remember those good days, is how I feel. And the bottom line of the song. But it's a good song. I do like SZA. I can't really tell you a lot of songs off the top of my head, but when I hear her voice, I know it's her. It's one of those things because So when I hear her voice, I know it's her, and I like the sound of her voice and how she says her lyrics, and you can understand it and everything. So that's our song of the week, Good Days by SZA. If you in your feelings, listen to it. Next week we'll have something more upbeat. So thank you guys for coming in on episode 2 of Linguistic Lips. Don't forget, on Wednesdays we're dropping little 12-minute segments of our cabin trip where we had 6 ladies sit down in the hot seat and talk about dating. So check that out on Wednesdays, and then we'll be here with our regular cast every Sunday at 8 p.m. So thank you so much for joining us. You guys have a great evening. Peace.
Bye.